Hello, everyone. Good evening. Happy Easter Sunday, and welcome to the release day live party for Alyssa's poetry booklet, Pillow Talk. Happy book birthday, Isa!
Hello. so so wait, am I going to introduce myself na ba?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
sorry.
That's Alisa.
My name is Alyssa Cataluna. I am currently 23 years old. Ano to?
Q&A,
Interview ka,
char.
girl. But yeah, my poetry booklet, Pillow Talk, is actually a booklet that portrays mental health at its, I wouldn't say ugliest, but I wouldn't say like prettiest either. Like it's not supposed to be pretty, but it's supposed to show the raw emotions that was felt at the time it was made. So yeah, like, but it's also refined. Like we were able to edit it out and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what Alisa did. Sobrang raw talaga ng emotions when I read it. Like, alam ni Alisa yan, napapahinga ako ng Nakapabuntong hininga talaga ako nung binabasa ko yung poetry collection niya. And if you don't have a copy yet, I have the links down below for both the Amazon and Gumroad um, links to where you can buy them. But if you can't buy them right now, don't worry because we will have a giveaway. So stay tuned at the end of this live show to know how you can win a copy of Pillow Talk plus some freebies from Alisa. And with that out of the way, let's hop right into the first uh, reading of one poem from Alisa's poetry booklet.
Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Naked by Alyssa Cataluna. As I speak in disjointed words, overturned letters, and incoherent terms, I do my best to express it to you. That there are parts of me that I don't like, that I'd rather hide, that I'd rather die before I'd bear them all to you. But I'm breaking all my codes, acting on feelings instead of sense. Despite the alarms and the sirens, because I trust you enough for me to strip down my walls, to be naked and vulnerable, to step into the unknown, to allow myself to succumb into you. Am I scared? Yeah, terrified. I haven't taken off my skin in such a long time. Yet here I am hoping and wondering and praying that he'll take me just as I am, because I am that invested in you. I love you.
Ang ganda. Ang ganda-ganda, sis.
Thank you.
Love thing and the background music. Hi, Kat. So, people are here na. Hello. Happy book birthday.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Nahihiya na ako.
Of your cousins.
Oh no, that's a friend of mine from the art community. That one's my cousin.
Cousins. And hi, Riza.
Hello.
For being here. And again, if you missed it, stay tuned at the end of this live show for a giveaway. And now let's move on to the Q&A part of this live show. So the first question we have for you, Alisa, is When did your love for writing start? And did you originally start to write poetry right away, or you ventured first into other types of literary pieces?
Actually, I first started writing, like, fell in love with writing around the fifth grade. It's actually a funny story. It was when Twilight first came out. So, yes, Twilight inspired me to write. But I didn't write poetry right away. Poetry at that time like really intimidated me because in a school setting it was very strict. There's a lot of rules when it came to poetry, and there were a lot of what do you call that? Basically, yeah, there's a lot of rules when it came to it, like in terms of how many syllables do you need to rhyme and so on. I can't even remember the rules. Oh my god. But yeah, like at first I ventured into novel writing or sometimes fan fiction, but I never got to finish anything. So poetry booklet is the first thing that I really followed till the end. Yeah.
Alright, so Twilight era. So nakaabot yun sa Twilight. Actually, Twilight is the book that got me into reading then. And I'm not
Yeah.
really, hindi ako nahihiyas na sabihin. And with that being said, we would also like to know, when did you actually start to write Pillow Talk, or like the first poetries for this collection?
My first poem that I wrote for Pillow Talk was way back in 2014. I wrote it for a crush I had in school. I think know you can see some of the pieces. I'd leave you guessing as to which which of them are for him. Yeah, but I know. Yeah, so like it was way. It's like Pillow Talk was written for 5 years. It was written from 2014 to 2019, and from then on I just kept refining it. I kept editing it. I kept like making additions out of it. So yeah, yeah, it's a pretty long time.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, so who are some of your favorite poets, and which of their works are your favorites?
Okay, so as you can, like I mentioned before, this is just a disclaimer. I was never into poetry way back because I was intimidated by the rules. So when Lang Leov became like famous for her poetry, I became inspired because she didn't stick to the rules, and I started writing based off her kind of format, like visual poetry. And it turns out that a lot of people didn't like her. So I had to keep editing my poems to make sure that it wasn't obvious that it was inspired by Langleov's kind of formatting. So yeah, I can't remember any works that I liked from her anymore because I got so scared basically.
And you get so scared because a lot of people are not into her works.
Yeah, like there were a lot of people who would bash her, and then they would judge people who would write, who like the kind of like a similar format as she does, like, and basically like insta poetry,
Mhm.
because it did not like stick to the rules. It there was a lot of controversy for it, and I basically didn't want to participate in it. So yeah, like there was basically like a lot of hesitance from my part to publish Pillow Talk just because of the Langley of controversy.
Yeah, but actually, to be honest, Isa, when I was reading your poetry book, I did not like have an idea that your inspiration was Langlive, because nung binabasa ko nga yan, as I've said earlier, it's really full of emotions and it's really raw and honest. And then I only got to read one work of Langlive, and I think it's Love and Misadventures. Yun ba yung like unang poetry book niya? And
Uh,
I can say that in that poetry book, it's just like very Instagram poetry because it's only beautiful na pang pose, pero there is no emotions and there is no really substance in it. So, ayun. Let's see some messages first from the people. Hi, Trish. Happy book birthday, said your friend.
high five.
Hi, Fana. Thank you for
Hello.
being here. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And
Hi,
uh,
Kersha.
hi there. If you have any questions for Alisa, you can save them for now because we will have a Q&A for you. I mean, kayo yung magtatanong mamaya for Alisa. So, ayun. Our next question is, have you always wanted to be a published author?
The answer to that is a big fat yes. Like ever since Twilight, I like I would write these mini stories way back in school, and it always gave me such a rush to know that people wanted to read it. So my classmates at that time, they would fight over my notebook to make sure they can read the next like part first. And honestly, it really like it was so flattering. It really inspired me to do more because that feeling that people want to read your work, it's irreplaceable. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you come up with the idea of self-publishing Pillow Talk?
Actually, I published some of the poems from Pillow Talk in a blog that you will never find ever again. So they were actually just like random poems written across time that, whenever I felt the strongest emotion. And then I had this idea that I wanted to write like an antithesis of some sorts because I think somewhere in the middle of those 5 years, the idea of love conquers all like kind of got popular in the mainstream. Like I can't name specific works anymore, but I remember that there are a lot of times where like the character would be sad, and then suddenly the sadness would go away just because they're like feeling loved or something. That was me being really pessimistic because at that time I viewed mental illness as something that's not gonna go away, for like that doesn't just go away because you find romantic love from someone. But as the story progressed, as I collected it, I realized it became sort of like, I don't know why, but it became like a love letter for an old flame. Like I dedicated it to an old flame, and well, that didn't work out obviously. So but basically, I didn't touch it for like 2 years, and then I realized that when I tried to pitch it, whenever I tried to talk about it, I wasn't talking about a love letter. I wasn't talking about mental illness alone. It became sort of like a piece of me now that um that basically like I don't know, that's been happening for a while. Like because in pillow talk it starts out bad, it starts out depressed, and then it becomes the person in pillow talk falls in love, gets obsessed, makes a mistake, then falls back into the same darkness as they were before. So I realized that it was a vicious cycle that I went through whenever I had my episodes with bipolar 2 disorder. So I realized that it was something that I should portray it as, such, basically. Yeah. Did that answer your question? I think I got like off tangent there.
Yeah. And yeah. Um, the title Pillow Talk, it, it speaks true to the title. I mean, your collection. Kasi parang you're so intimate with us, your readers in that collection. And I really appreciated that because it's not that easy to open up about these things or what we really feel inside. And you you were so strong to publish it. So kudos for that.
Thank you.
And with that being said, we would also like to know if writing these poetries helped you in coping up.
At that time, actually, yes, it really helped. Like there was an outlet to every time I had a really strong emotion. There was an outlet and I was able to articulate what I was feeling at the time. And it made more sense than when I'm just ranting or venting to other people because, you kind of lose the point, you kind of forget what you were talking about. But with the poems or with the journal entries, like it's focused. Although sometimes you can see that like the confusion starts somewhere, but I'm making art out of it. I'm making art out of the emotions that I was feeling at the time. So it was productive. Yeah.
Sana all nakakapagsulat. And by the way, usual poem writing process.
um Honestly, I just sit down and write. Like I talk about I start if it I s- how do I explain this? At first, I think about how it's going to rhyme. But if I don't feel like it rhyming, then it's not gonna rhyme. It really depends, I guess. It's there's more freedom to it, and that's what I like about it.
All right. And lastly, for this Q&A part, how do you want your readers to feel after reading Pillow Talk?
I want them to feel seen. I want them because I'm not gonna lie and say this is a comforting book. No, it's not. I want them for everyone who suffers the same kind of um experience that the book shows. I want them to feel seen. I want them to feel represented. And for those who don't, experience the emotions, then I want them to feel uncomfortable, I guess, enough to take action, enough to know that this is not something simple, that this is something that you should address seriously. Because, art should disturb the comfortable, diba? So, yeah.
All right. So glad to know that because I totally felt seen when I was reading your poems. That's why I was reading so hard. During those poems, I was reading na super nakaka-relate ako. And even dun sa journal entries. By the way, would you like to tell us more about the journal entries in your booklet?
What can you be more specific about what do you want me to talk about with them?
Like, sila ba ay galing dun sa secret blog na sinabi mo kanina? Or like, you just wrote them out when you were writing these poetry collections?
They also came from my secret blog. Some of them came from my secret blog. And then yeah, like it yeah.
Mhm.
They were the heat of my emotions, and I'm just glad that those ano, those random snippets of my thoughts just made a story that made sense.
All right. Thank you so much for answering these questions, Alisa. And now we will play another like sample from Alisa's booklet, but it is going to be a journal entry. And while we're playing that, you may go ahead and send in your questions now in the chat box if ever you have any questions for Alisa, and we will answer them later.
Okay, here we go. To Whom It May Concern by Alyssa Cataluna. God, I love you so much. I can't even weave the words so intricately to make it seem more beautiful and poetic. There's only raw emotion pulsing inside me. I love you. I didn't want to say these words. I've avoided it for the longest time, but damn, do I love you so much. I see your imperfections. I see your anger. I see your insecurities and I see your weaknesses, but that's what makes me love you even more. I want to protect you. I want to shield you away from everything that wants to hurt you. I agonize over the thought of you in pain, and it's not right because you're an adult. You're not some child that needs babying. You can take care of yourself and you're responsible enough, but I still want to do something. I still want to mean something. I still want to be someone to you, the only special someone to you. I want you to be vulnerable to me. I want you to let down your guard with me. I want you to drop the act and just be yourself. And I swear I'll love you anyway. I'll love you so goddamn much. The pain won't matter. I'll love you so much you don't have to be scared of being ugly. I'll love you so much that you'll trust me enough not to break down when I call you out. I'll love you so much that I'll leave a large crater in your heart when I leave. I believe you can achieve all your dreams. I believe that you'll become the best person you can be. I believe that you can be so much more, and I believe that you can do absolutely anything. You deserve to be loved this much. You deserve to be loved so goddamn much. You deserve all the comfort and the luxuries. And you deserve all the blessings that come your way. You are not your mistakes. You are your virtues. You are the people you love, and you are the morals you uphold. I'm not disregarding your flaws, though frankly, they don't change a goddamn thing about how I feel. They're part of you. And I understand that loving you means loving that too. But I don't care. I really don't care. To me, they don't matter. They don't change the fact that I love you. They don't change the fact that I fell in love with you. Can you even believe this? It's only been a few months and somehow I love you more and more each day. The more I get to know you, the more I get to see the real you, both the beautiful and the ugly. I fall harder and harder each time. God, if only you knew. Maybe then you wouldn't have to feel so alone. But it feels like I'm the wrong match. That I can't be the one loving you like this. That you deserve all this love, but not from me. God, you're so flawed. You're perfect. Fuck, I love you. I really, really love you. I can't stand the idea of letting someone else know just how much I love you before you do. I don't even know how I can express all of this to you without scaring you off. I'm so sure you don't feel the same. It doesn't take a detective to know that you only see me as a friend and no more than that. They say there's more, but are they seeing your feelings or just mine? Are the feelings they get really from you or just a leftover from the intensity of mine? They're convinced that there's something coming from you, but why can't I see it? Why can't I see it? Why can't I believe it? Why don't I allow myself to hope? Is there really something there? Am I that overwhelmed by the fear of losing you that I've gone blind? Are you really giving me signs? If so, why can't I see it? It's not fair. I know you more than they do, and yet they seem to know more than I do. It's really not fair. I need a clearer sign, a glaring one, one that I can't ignore, one that I can't brush off as something or make up some shitty excuse for. Then I'll believe it. Then I'll believe them. If not, then I'll just dance this tango with you for the rest of our lives as your friend. Yeah.
Ang emotional.
Nahihiya ako
Sobrang
sa boses
ganda.
ni Angel.
Oh, ang ganda kaya. Perfect for an audiobook.
Ano yun?
Ang perfect niya for an audio.
Ah, yeah.
And we have more people here. Thank you so much. And sorry you're not too late. Hi. Oh, his blog tour for Pillow Talk. So his blog, and I think his check them out.
Medyo nawawala yung boses mo. I'm not sure if ako lang ba ito.
Yeah, nice if you can hear me properly.
Mm.
Wait lang. Intermission number mo na si.
Ito na ba yung yung final poem?
Oh, actually, we have some questions. We will be playing another poem from Nathan. After that, we will be announcing the giveaway mechanics. So, are we all ready for the questions? Are you ready, Lisa?
When am I ever ready?
Okay, so if you have any other questions for the chat, I can answer them. Ready?
Sige.
Question from Krisha, your friend. Do you have any plans on writing a sequel to the collection?
Actually, a lot of people have told me to write a response to it. And at first, I wasn't sure if I should because, like sometimes it's best to just leave some things alone. But as I really thought about it, I realized that maybe I should actually write a response to it because I want to I want to see how much I've grown since the years that I wrote Pillow Talk, basically. Yeah. So maybe there will be a sequel to the collection, but it won't be released soon. It will be released like years from now, definitely. Yeah, because yeah, you know,
We'll surely wait for that response, that sequel.
two pillow, two talk.
Hi, Raj. Thank you
Yes.
for meat sauce. What or who inspired?
There were a lot of inspiration actually. Like for their love poems, they were definitely written for the different crushes. Ang landi ko. Like they were for different people actually. Like only a few were like written for the same person. And as for the ano the sad parts, definitely my sadness. I think the inspiration really starts with the collection of this book, because at first I was kind of scared of sharing a piece of me that vulnerable to the world. And then I decided that, like, if no one's going to see it, then who am I writing for? I know that we should write for ourselves or something of the um similar message, but like I said before in the earlier into the stream, nothing can replace the feeling of people wanting to read your book, your pieces, and getting inspired by it. So yeah, like I think that made me conquer my fear of anything, and that inspired me to make this book. Yeah.
All right, and that, my friends, is your sign to go write that book and so looking for na yon. Si Isa na ang hinihintay yung sign. Hmm. Oh, we have another question from Prisha. You started with writing fiction. Do you have any plans writing short stories or a novel anytime soon?
I I really want to. I really do want to. It's just that I don't have any I don't have any stories at the moment. Like I have nothing. I really have nothing. Yeah, like so far it's easier for me to write from my own experiences, but to write something completely new, that's going to be a challenge for me, but it's a challenge I'm willing to take. Definitely. I just need to find the right plot, basically.
Yeah, I actually read somewhere. I forgot where I read it. Well, I think I read it in Emergency Contact, if I'm not mistaken. Like, yung professor ng female main character, she told, or she said that you have to write what you're most uncomfortable with. And I think it's really hard to, write about something that you're not comfortable with. But,
That's true. Hmm.
well, we will be tuning in to your future writing endeavors.
Thank
And maybe
you.
you'll break our hearts again and make us cry. This, who is she? Okay, will we be getting an audiobook? Isa, please answer this. Because the samples are like poem samples that you played earlier, Chef's Kiss. So we will be getting for the
Actually,
whole.
I am making plans of making an audiobook for this. So I'm just not sure how to do it yet, because I don't know how to make the format, the technical side of it, but I really do want to make an audiobook for the entire poetry booklet. So look forward to that. I'm just not sure when that's gonna come out.
We will look forward to that. We'll even research for you, Isa. We'll research how to produce an audiobook.
Thank you.
Okay, I had a talk with Isa regarding this part of the poetry. And mind you, I tell her that I am seeing two sides in this writing. Well, we will be expecting. No pressure, but
Oh my gosh.
all says you. Think people are like wanting to have two sides in the story because your writing is just so beautiful. No kidding.
Thank you.
Always want for more.
Yeah.
And we have Kimberly. How would you feel if somebody someday will dedicate something as strongly emotional as your work to you?
I never
That's a
thought about that. I never thought about that. Um, I'm actually not sure either because I have never been someone's muse to for art in general. Like, yeah, I have never been someone's muse. So I wouldn't know how to feel about it. Like, would I be flattered? Like, I guess we'll find out if the time comes. Should the time come.
it will come. Two pillow, two talk. Okay, Rita has a question. How did it make you feel reading these works now that you're in a much better place mentally?
It was actually like pretty nostalgic. Like at first I didn't know how to feel. At first I couldn't connect to my own writing anymore. Like I got like it was a weird disconnect because it's kind of like coming out of the darkness and realizing coming out of the darkness and staying in the light for a while, and then you see the darkness again and you realize that you're not ready to see that again. Like it goes two ways. Like you never realize how dark it was, or you realize that it's not that dark. Like it's not that, yeah, like it could go either way. But for me right now I realize that I was in a really dark place. And like I know the love conquers all thing was something I wanted to disprove, but I guess there's truth to it. Like if you find love, not just romantic love, like the right amount of love from your family, from your friends, from if you do have one, like a lover, like it's a kind of support system that brings you out of that darkness. And I guess it does conquer a lot of things. So, yeah, like this is a failed hypothesis.
Thanks for sharing that because it just goes to show that everything is not permanent. Like we're not stuck
Yeah.
here, and you definitely had that character development that we've all been wanting.
Yeah.
And I guess this is your friend.
Yeah, that's one of my closest friends. Yeah.
Hello there.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. And oh, if want the readers to feel, Elisa actually already here, but if you have anything to share, Elisa, regarding this question.
Yeah, I think I pretty much summed up how I pretty much summed it up earlier, but I'll say it again. Like I want I want the readers to feel there for me for Pillow Talk, there are two kinds of readers. One who understands the experience that was in Pillow Talk, and the other is the ones who don't. So for the people who understand, I want them to feel seen. I want them to feel represented. And for those who don't, I want them to be challenged or to take action that, this mental illness is not something to be ignored and should be addressed. Yeah. So that's how I want them to feel.
Alright, there is your answer, Lil Sanchez. Let's see if we have more questions. Okay. Okay, so that's the last question here in the chat box. So the next part is Aliza will play another poem from her collection, and after that we will be announcing the mechanics for the giveaway.
When, by Alyssa Cataluna. It's when it's 3 in the morning and you're still unhappy. It's when everything's going great, but you're sitting on the bathroom floor, back pressed against the wall, as you plan out how you want to go. It's when you try to hold on to the little things that keep you here. They're slipping away from your fingers, slowly, eventually, gone. It's when your tears run dry and your heart no longer races. When you're tired, apathetic, numb. It's when your pulse beats in your ears as you lie in bed contemplating if you'll finally feel something when you wake up. It's when life runs by you and you wish it no longer does. Yeah.
Alright, it's actually like one of the poems that left me feeling hard.
Yeah, the story about this poem was it was the birthday of someone who was really important to me. But I couldn't somehow for some reason I just couldn't enjoy it. Like I couldn't be happy, and I was hidden in the bathroom. I was crying really hard, and I had to muffle my cries so that no one would hear it. And I was basically just writing what I felt at that time, and what I felt at that time is I wanted to disappear because I didn't deserve all this happiness. At the time, I'm better now. Yeah.
So
Mm.
like I don't know what to say about it because I feel the same way. Anyway, let's read some more messages.
Love you, Kim.
Your
Love
friends are
you,
so
Rish. Diba? They're so sweet. I still don't
sweet.
know who that is. I think it's my cousin.
And friends, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, now let us um, announce the giveaway mechanics. It's actually pretty easy. You just have to be following Aliza and me. All of our social media links are in the description box down below. And you should also be subscribed to our YouTube channels and leave a comment, like in the real comments, not in this chat box. Just leave a comment saying or Isa, and that's pretty.
and that's
And Brooke birthday Thank you so much for.
I'm sure you said something nice. I just couldn't hear it.
Oh, I just said happy birthday, and thank you for
Oh,
doing this with me.
thank you, Polly. Thank you so much for having me. Like it's an
My
honor.
pleasure. Remember earlier we were so we're done.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much to everyone. If you want to enter the giveaway, mechanics, follow us and leave a comment. Happy book birthday, Isa. And it doesn't matter if you already have a copy, maybe to give to a loved one or to a special friend. It's okay too. And yeah, to everyone who joined celebrating the book birthday of Alyssa's Pillow Talk. Yeah, that's it. We're ending the live now. Everyone, happy Easter
Bye.
Sunday.
Happy
Safe.
Easter Sunday.